that epic intro.
Are we good?
Oh man,
Anybody?
look, see there it is. I can only do it one time. I'm one and done.
I'm sorry, guys. That was my
You
bad.
missed it. You missed it. Good
That was
night.
my
Okay.
But you know,
Well, shit.
it is what it is.
It was epic.
It was
All right,
epic.
says we're
And
good.
you guys will
So we're
never
good.
hear
Let's
it
rock.
unless you know how to
You'll
read
never
lips.
hear it.
Yeah.
There was Harriet Tubman was involved. Strippers were involved.
Yeah.
Spending money was involved.
Alaskan Bush Club.
The Alaskan Bush Club.
Yeah.
There was a
Folk
lot going
Solo.
on in that intro.
Gonorrhea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Chlamydia. All of it was involved.
So
You know, if you're gonna go to the Bush
That.
Club, you got to come back with something.
well,
The
shout
gift
out
that
to
keeps
all
on giving.
52 live joining us tonight. Let's get the chat rocking. Appreciate everybody that's hanging out in the chat pre-show. It's nice to get everybody notified that the show is going correctly. I apologize for the 2 mess ups tonight, but we're figuring it out. I think we're pretty damn good. Much better than we were about a month ago, man. It was fucking rough. But that being said, we have a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. One of the most important things tonight is we've got a man on the spot at Comix Pro. Vinny out there in Comix Pro. We're going to talk about Comix Pro tonight. Let you guys know what Comix Pro is, if a lot of you don't know what it is, because I think a lot of people don't know what Comix Pro is. And just Joe, if your wife is around, hey, make sure to watch out. He might have a seizure, so we'll change the screen for you, brother. And the silent intros are trending up. I agree, Jersey to the Bay. So just we need. I wonder if the captions is gonna catch it. You think the captions might catch it? I doubt it, but that would be funny.
That would
I
be
hope so.
That would be
wild.
so wild, right? Like
Yeah.
if they go back and see all the shit that I was talking about, Bill Cosby and Quaaludes, and just see what they were all talking about. It's amazing.
Yo, did y'all catch the interpreter at the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I did.
She went
Yep.
harder than Rihanna.
Yeah.
She went hard.
It was her moment. It was her moment.
There's a lot of truth in that. Rihanna mailed that shit in.
The worst halftime show. And
You guys didn't
tried
like
to live
it?
up to LA last year. Get out of here, dude.
Oh yeah, it was good.
Sorry.
You guys
Sorry.
didn't
Well,
like
I
it?
think, but
I
you know
put
what,
last
though?
year's on during the Super Bowl. I was like, look, everybody,
Ah,
nobody wants to see this
but-
pregnant broad dance around, right?
But here's the crazy thing: the second most watched Super Bowl performance in history. The second most watched Super Bowl performance in history, and all she did was jiggle around. And they've asked her. Here's a fact: they've asked her for 10 years straight to do it, and she said no. And the one time that she said yes is because she was pregnant. And I seen a meme that said Rihanna's unborn baby made it to the Super Bowl before the Cowboys.
I promise you, I know what happened on this fucking deal is she was gonna say no again, but ASAP Rocky got into her emails and saw how much they offered her, and he said, "Yep, she's doing it."
She didn't get paid.
Exactly what the.
Yeah, they don't get paid.
They don't get paid.
Yeah, but did you see that he did the merchandise for the Super Bowl for her website? That's how she got paid.
Well, yeah, and what she did too was when she put on the makeup, like Savage, the makeup, her makeup line jumped up like 210%. Her music streamed, which is what normally happens. That's the Super Bowl effect. The music goes crazy. But when she stopped and put makeup on, whatever she did when she stopped and put on makeup, that shot her makeup up like 210%. It's crazy. Like the Super Bowl effect is crazy.
Did you guys
the
hate
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is all donated shit. That's all the people that they're like, how come they don't have so and so's shit in there? It's because they didn't bother to donate their own stuff. Like they don't collect stuff for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All those bands it's all people that want the advertising and shit. That's why it's I don't remember which band. I want to say I think the Rolling Stones or somebody massive like the Rolling Stones. If it's not them, and I just there and I don't remember seeing any of their shit there. They're like, nah, we just don't feel like giving them any stuff.
I still need CBS to apologize to Janet Jackson because Justin Timberlake popped her titty on the show
and was going to do it on purpose,
and she ain't been able to get right since. They were supposed to do a Grammy thing honoring her, but she turned it down because she's waiting on an apology from CBS from the way that they treated her from the Super Bowl. You got to think about it. It's hard to shut down a Jackson. And after that Super Bowl performance, Janet's stuff just went down. I mean, she's still Janet Jackson, albeit, but it wasn't the same. It
And
has
at that-
not-
Rhythm Nation's still one of the greatest albums of all time, without fucking
Absolutely.
question. And I'm
Absolutely.
throwing hands with anybody who disagrees.
And
I know the fucking dances and shit. When she fucking
I love their
Don't get
comeback
it.
album too. The one for Poetic Justice.
Which one?
that was
Janet?
that it wasn't.
Velvet
She's
Rope?
talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole fucking family had talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Jackson whooped them kids into talent. Well, welcome to the show. We out here.
We outside.
Yeah, we outside.
Yeah, and
Come
when
on,
Janet popped that out, like at that age, I could get one out that fast.
man. And listen, and that titty was still supple.
Well, it was pierced, so yeah.
Amen to Pearson. That titty was still Janet. That titty was still supple. You all right? You all right with me? That's the way love go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
So
Justin was
Black, I
Justin-
might do a little
Justin was
black cat tonight as I go to bed. You never
Come
know.
on. Justin was a lucky man. You better have you naked by the end of this.
Show's over,
I,
man.
guar-
It was
I
out.
guarantee you, fucking Wade. I guarantee you, Wade just got
It was
excited.
out.
Wait,
Laura, shut your eyes.
Whoa.
Laura, shut your eyes.
Vinny, I shit you not. An hour and a half ago, Wade was at my house and he goes, "Hey, do you think there's any chance we can get Vinny to show his nipples on the stream?" And I said, "There's zero fucking chance. I swear to Christ." And the fact that Marcus just threw one out for him, I'm telling you, that's
Nobody even asked Marcus. He
And
did
listen,
it.
and listen, and that was just to satisfy your curiosity. Wait till I pull out the other one.
Jeezy, hey, we don't need the Jimmy Linguini part 2. That's damn sure.
Listen,
We had to deal
I'm
with that shit once in.
Baby, I got enough chocolate milk for everybody. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to feed the needy.
Why?
We going on with the show now. Welcome to the show. We here. Welcome. Yeah.
Vinny's in Comics Pro, and we need to talk about a little bit about it because there was some big news that came out of Comics Pro, and I want to tell people about what Comics Pro is. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't even know what Comics Pro is. So Vinny, let them know where you're at and what it exactly is.
Yeah, I'm in Pittsburgh. In this lush hotel room.
Wait, what hotel you're legit staying at in Pittsburgh?
No,
No,
really,
text
I'm
me
at the
online.
It's at the DoubleTree. This ain't the
The
DoubleTree.
grand piano suite that's light 24 hours a day.
Yeah. No, for real. This is the DoubleTree, guys. This is the DoubleTree.
Damn.
Hey, go eat it. Go eat at Ditka's tomorrow, for real.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna
That's
do
the
that.
only fucking place up in that shithole of a city that has decent food is Ditka's. Don't let anybody else fool you.
All right, I'm on it. Yeah, but I mean, it's basically a conference for retailers, like all the publishers, or most of the publishers end up coming out here, and a lot of the retailers from around the country will come out basically once a year. It's an opportunity for the publishers to kind of educate the retailers about the new books that they're going to be putting out, like in the next few months. And then also they do roundtables where they talk to the retailers and kind of try to get feedback on things that they're doing, things that they would like to see instead, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's always a lot of retailer exclusives that come out, not retailer exclusives. There's a lot of Comics Pro exclusives that come out of this conference as well. Really, it's to kind of cover the retailers' costs, but that's kind of what the whole thing is about.
It's also a big thing for the industry where you get a lot of industry news, right? Where a lot of people like wait to talk about changes. I know there was a new editor-in-chief over at Boom that was announced, I think, right?
Yeah.
We got a female editor-in-chief now at Boom, I believe. And their CB Cebulski's there, which is a big deal for him to kind of show up and hang out at the event, editor-in-chief at Marvel.
I don't think that was announced or anything like that. I think he just kind of popped up, so should be interesting.
Yeah.
Is this the same dude that pretended that he was Japanese and got caught and still got the editor-in-chief gig?
I think so.
Wait a
No,
minute.
I'm not-
Hold on. Wait. What
Yes.
happened?
Yes.
Cross my heart and hope to die. This
Sure
guy fucking
did.
was literally capping online, telling people he was a Japanese dude. And Marvel said,
what
you
I
know
said.
what? We like that kind of diversity. Let's fucking put him in charge of everything. If he pretends he's Japanese, we could use him.
So okay, so pause for a second. With a last name like Cebulski,
He had a pen name. He wrote his pen name. Like he wrote yeah. It wasn't under his own name. I don't remember what his pen name was.
CB Cebulski. Oh, and I'm Asian. Okay, all right.
He didn't use his name.
He went. What name did he go with?
I don't fucking remember.
You want to look it up? We
I'm
can
pretty
look it
sure he
up.
didn't. I'm gonna say I'm 80% believe in what I said.
Let's take a
I
quick
mean,
look.
Somebody
say
in
it.
the chat will know, dude.
I can say
Hey,
it
Vinny.
with a CB
Yo.
Cebulski. I can say it.
True
and
story. I've been invited, and I went to the Comix Pro deal one time, and it happened to be in Baltimore.
Okay. all
Vinny
right.
have you heard of any of the exclusives that are going to be at Comics Pro?
No, so it officially opens tomorrow, so I'll get a chance to see kind of what's in there tomorrow. But next week for sure, I can kind of drop some info on what's going on and what kind of books are coming up soon and things like that. So no, nothing.
I heard they did. I'm sorry, y'all. They did do the Holy Water Air Maxes. It was something like that too. They did a whole thing. It was like a heaven and hell thing. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But Vinny, listen. Let's talk about something for real. And we're saying this in front of everybody. Ferd, Trey, Leg, Bryan, McClay. If you are at Comics Pro and I don't get some books, I'm telling you now, we're gonna have a real issue.
Especially if this is going to be one of the books.
Oh, look at that!
Bingo.
Look at how beautiful that looks.
This was announced today at Comics Pro or for Comics Pro, I guess.
Nice.
Art Germ, new Gun Honey Art Germ book. It's a Gun Honey spinoff called Heat Seeker. I don't think this is that great of a cover. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it looks great, but is it Art Germ's best cover? No,
not at all. But it's still Art Germ. Art Germ
Yes.
is amazing in and of itself, man.
Yes.
Art Germ is amazing.
Yeah.
I was lurking in the Discord today for a little bit, because I had so many meetings back to back, like trying to get this stuff done that we're doing. But somebody said something that made a lot of sense, and they were talking about Jock and how they were talking about how the big two always tends to run down their superstar artists, right? So it's like, if they got their hands on a superstar artist, then they doing every kind of cover and variant and all this, that, and that. Do you feel this way with Art Germ? Do you think that Art Germ is starting to get the burnout?
Yes.
Because not from the big two, but just he's literally everywhere. I remember when Art Germ first hit the scene, it was a different feeling when he was out. Like, he was very particular about the stuff that he was doing. Now it's just like the cover's the cover, the face doesn't really change. It's, you can tell when he ain't really putting no thought into it, just doing it because he's getting paid. Like, it's a different thing. So
yeah, it's
do y'all
interesting.
feel that way?
It's funny because
his work looks more digital than it used to.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I think was it Stein that had like literally everything he did?
Yeah, he got a special sketch from him because of that.
Because of that,
Yeah.
And it's probably
He doesn't buy everything anymore just because of what Marcus is saying, that he's just done too much, and it's hard to keep up. Like, could you imagine being a Peach Momoko collector when she was like putting out 4 books a week? That's a lot of money to be spending on those variants. And
especially when he did a lot of indie stuff. Like, can name some of it, but like that shit was like, because Stein's really good at pulling out, he'd always write like the ghost hunting articles and stuff like that. He's really good at finding rare shit, and Art Germ legit has some rare shit. You know what I mean? So back then, so Stein had books that Art Germ didn't have. You know what I mean? Wow. So,
you know who else got some good shit? Delato. But Delato started getting ran down. Man, I used to be a huge Delato fan, man. That dude, man, just could not do any wrong, and the books were just going for stupid. Man, Zion got some original. Shout out Zion Picasso, man. He got some original shit from Delato, bro. I'm jealous and it's in the original art in the Discord. Make sure you join the Discord if you haven't. But but it's actually, man, Delato's Art Germ. I think it's time for a new breed of comic book artists to come in and really, kind of take over. I do agree this cover ain't that bad, but it's not just his most phenomenal shit that it's not breathtaking. And I think, at some point, the shine starts to wear off. You can only do that face so many times before you just like, oh, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm kind of done with it.
Do you have any other like things that you're on the lookout for there, Vinny? Have you even done any searching of anything? No, you're just gonna go hang out and just walk around.
I will tell you what I did though when I got in. I called every Barnes and Noble in this.
You're 2 weeks late on that. You're way 2 weeks late on that.
Oh no, I just figured maybe somebody slept on some in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I did do that. I got a rental car. I was like, I'm gonna go. I don't care. I'll go.
Let me tell you how real. This Sports Illustrated Victor Wembanyama stuff is. I literally found a store. I'm not gonna tell because my people in Houston, they out here hanging out with us. I found a store in Katy that had, and I live in Katy, Texas. So which is a suburb of Houston. There was a store that had 15 copies of the Sports Illustrated book. I said, hold them. I'm on my way. 7 minutes it took for me to get to this store. 7. By the time I got to the store, there was a person named Marcus that picked up all the books.
Oh my God.
Shut up.
Get out of here. What?
I don't believe it. That's a witchcraft story, man. No, I don't believe it.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. There was a person named Marcus that came in and said, hey, I'm looking for the Sports Illustrated book. And they said, oh, yeah, you just called. Here are the 15 copies that you just...
No, you know what happened? I bet you somebody just walked up there and they were like, oh, are you Marcus? Yeah, I'm Marcus. And they just
Here you go.
Oh, you Marcus? Okay,
They don't care.
And I said, and I legit cried. I said, I know you lied. I know you lied.
I think the crazy thing is that the other day we went live on Rumble and Trey put up a sale.
Yeah.
What was it? One of them went for $13.75, a graded
SGC
one, right?
SGC 9.
Yep.
$13.75 had 39 bids.
That's cheap.
That's not even PSA. Wait till the PSA 9s hit, or even, I don't know. SGC's making a little bit of a dent, but I mean, they're still behind probably BGS in the grand scheme of things. But we talked about another thing that we think is an interesting thought process is I have 5 or 6 that are really, really well centered. Do you grade the whole magazine and the sheet, or do you wait till someone starts grading the magazine and the blank sheet inside it? Or do you pay to have the perforation people cut it and send it off? I mean, there's a bunch of different variables and things to think about when it comes to these SI Kids cards.
Here's my thought, Trey, and this is just, me talking homeboy to homeboy. You got 5 or 6 copies out. I know you got more than that, but just 5 or 6 really good copies. I would take one and or 2 and go perforate it and put it in a card sleeve. But the rest of them, I would just grade them as is. I'd grade the whole damn book because I want to liken it to, and we talked about this on the Rumble, I want to liken it to the 181 with the stamp not in it. Be like, like if it's not as, I mean, it's still first appearance of Wolverine, but if that stamp is cut out, that book is cut in half. You know what I'm saying? So, my thought is, oh wow, look at that. So my thought is, keep it as a whole and maybe have, do both because you have enough copies to do both. That's just my
damn. CGC's already passed fucking SGC.
Pokemon cards, bro.
And that's just on Pokemon?
Yeah.
Bro, come on. What you thinking? Bro,
Shocked with Beckett. That's interesting. Well, I guess it makes sense. No one likes to use them.
Beckett has taken a shit big time in the last 2 years, man. Big time. Here's the funny thing. 15 years ago, in between 10 and 15 years ago, Beckett was actually preferred over PSA for a while. How crazy is that?
Those Black Label 10s were fucking the top dog of all top dogs.
And they still are. The Black Labels still are. But even people like the thicker cases. They didn't like the PSA red and black and white. and it switched because of people thinking the same thing with CBCS and CGC. You know, we all talked about how great CBCS grading was off the jump, and they were catching a little headstrong, and then CGC, because of the speculation boom, the recent speculation boom, and it being worth more, everybody's head went, you know, with that little bit of knowledge in their head, knowing that they can get more for their CGC, they like it more now. It looks better now. They prefer it, you know? So it's very interesting. That's like the, what do they call that? They call that like when governments like kind of plant that seed in your head, right? There's a different way to advertise. They can say it's worth a ton of money and you'll want it. You'll want it more. You'll think it looks better.
Message.
Subliminal, yeah.
Subliminal message, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another thing I didn't know, though, is Sunday, I guess it was Monday, I was bidding on an Austin Matthews Young Gun SGC gold card, which is apparently equivalent to the Black Label. And I hadn't seen a SGC gold 10 yet. And I honestly fucked up and went for 970 in regular Austin Matthews. I know, dude. It was one of I just didn't know enough about it. And I just $1,000 at the time is just, and then I go back and look, and in regular, you know, PSA 10 Austin Matthews go for close to 1,800 right now. So it would have been a safe bet to buy, but I just didn't know enough about the SGC golds to kind of throw that much money in the ring.
Sure.
Did I ever tell you about my Austin Matthews stories, Trey?
No, do you have some?
Not only do I have some, I don't have any 10s because I wasn't grading when that came out, but I've known Austin since he was 9 years old. He
I did not know that.
Yeah, he played Little League hockey or whatever they Mighty Might hockey out here in Scottsdale with my best friend's son. I used to when I go to games, I would hang out with Austin's parents. That's like, you know, his mom is she came here from Mexico. His dad is an American guy from California, and they came here he was born in LA, but they came here he was born in California. They came here to Arizona, and they brought him up here. And
put that pussy away, Ferd.
Yeah.
This ain't that kind of show.
I got pussy everywhere, man. It's hella annoying.
So yeah, man, I used to hang out with his parents, and we'd go after the games and practices. We'd all go to, you know, Peter Piper Pizza together and this and that. And you knew from the second you saw that kid playing at 8 years old, he was going to be a superstar in hockey. You knew it. Like he was far and away the best skater on the ice, and it was all about skating. He had this guy out here named Boris that was a skating pro that taught him how to skate a certain way, and that certain way became like this thing. And this guy Boris is like one of the number one skating coaches in the world now because of this special way of teaching kids how to skate. It's pretty interesting, man. And
that's how those old Red Army CCP teams used to. That's until the 1980 team. They would outskate everyone so much better than the other teams, and the Russians still, to the most part, are faster on skates than the Canadians and the Americans. The Americans are usually tough. The Canadians usually have more finesse, but the straight on end-to-end speed, the Russians and the Finns, and I guess the Czechs for the last decade have just been superior. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Right, coaching.
So Bryan, did you touch Austin's mama? Because you know you started stuttering when you started talking about his mama. You know, she's beautiful.
No,
she's
but
beautiful, and I like her mama. The mama nice.
Do you guys ever know? I think it was. Hold on. I think it was. There was a Pittsburgh player, Pirates player, back in like the early '80s and the '70s, and his wife used to always scream at him like when he would come to the plate, "Hey, Manny," or something like that. And she used to do the same thing. She used to, "Hey, Poppy." She called him Poppy, and that's where he got his nickname. So that's why everybody wonders why his name is Poppy. But it reminded me of that. Anyways, sorry, that's my Austin Matthews story. But no, I didn't try to hit on his mom, dude. I was knee deep in heroin at that time, so I wasn't looking forward to
Which even further proves my point.
Hey, Bryan, I got a story about Jeff Bagwell's ex-wife that we can talk about on a podcast another time.
Excellent.
Awesome sauce. Love you, bro. It's all good, man. Oh, and I got your request. I got your request to do your show. Just let me know whatever you need, whenever you want me to do it. I'll do it. So that's cool. But yeah, Bryan, I know. Bryan, You ain't just blink 2 times. I know what time it is. Just blink 2 times.
Yeah. You're gonna get me in trouble.
All right, then there it is. Okay, we good. We gonna keep going. I know what time it is. Though.
You're gonna get me in trouble, dude.
I know.
Making me feel uncomfortable here, bro.
I know.
I can't tell if Sean's asleep or he's looking down at his phone.
He's looking down at his phone. It's only awkward the first time, Brian. You know.
Yeah.
Touch me in the morning.
Yeah, phone. I'm sorry.
Cadults.
How about this one, you guys?
Who's that?
Cadults now responsible for a quarter of all U.S. toy sales. How many times have we talked about this, that kids don't read comics anymore, they don't buy toys anymore, they don't buy cards anymore, they don't do any of that shit anymore because it's all about video games and YouTube and playing on the phone, and adults are now buying 25% of all U.S. toys.
I 100% believe that. Yeah. When's the last time you seen kids down every time you go to Walmart or Target and go down the aisles, there's guys our age looking, and there's not fucking 8 and 10, 12-year-old kids looking.
Because the fucking toys are so much more amazing than when we were kids. They take it for granted. Like, I'm like,
we didn't have McFarlane toys when we were kids.
No shit. That's what I was saying. We didn't have that. Like, I remember buying, way before this comic shit, like, or, you know what, well, I collect comics when I was a kid, but like 20 years ago, let's say, like in my 20s, like, my nephew is 12 or some shit. I don't really know him. And so anyway, and lived like out of state. And my mom, we were at Toys R Us. Remember those? And she was like pick some stuff out. So I picked out like fucking. I have no idea what he ever did with it. He opened it. I'm sure he played with it because he was a kid. But I picked out the badass fucking like McFarlane Spawn shit for him. I was like, dude, this is what I'd want. I was like, I want these. Like, I want these. Yeah. So, it was a lot of fun to me. Let's put it that way, man. Doing stuff like that. Yeah, dude. They don't care. We do,
Brian.
We do. I still like Mad Balls. I'm a weirdo.
Brian, I got one for you. Did you own Modulok of He-Man?
Oh, fucking A, dude. Yeah, the one where you could put all the.
My mom and dad wouldn't buy me. I literally had every He-Man that came out, minus the kind of after the movie. There was some that I didn't get, but Modulok was like my holy grail as a child, as a fucking He-Man figure, and I never owned one.
I lost all those pieces as a kid. I remember losing all the different pieces. That was a weird toy.
Did you allow She-Ra? Did you allow She-Ra into Eternia? See, my sister had too much She-Ra shit, and every once in a while she'd try to come over to Castle Grayskull, and it didn't work out well.
No, man.
They think that might have ruined some of the He-Man line as part of the theory, as they tried to introduce like the She-Ra universe and stuff. Yeah. I do have. You can't see it if I put on my camera. If you can, I don't know. I do have a real first She-Ra at the top up there, but I was gifted by one of our wonderful comic community friends. I think Brian Smith. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you,
if you're listening and you gave it to me and I fucked it up, I apologize. It was like 5 years ago. But
how about this one? Speaking of Mad Balls, this is Hornhead.
Cool.
Toy legend J. Groman was in charge of this sickening design. The best part, it's a horrid, realistic, movable eye. This is a new toy coming out, I think, made by this guy, James Groman. And here we go. We'll be able to buy it. It's a giant Hornhead Madball product. Ultra detailed, movable eyeball, and huge. It's a big-ass fucking guy. So,
is there like a scale or like dimensions or anything?
Let's go take a look. Let's see what we got.
And we played with our Madballs. Like, we threw them at each other in the backyard.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any of those things that fucking survived, like, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's in.
Did everyone have the purple Mad Balls, like the main one? Because that was the one. I only had one, and that was it.
It's let's see here.
I forget which is which. It might be this Hornhead. It might be this one, Trey.
30 centimeters by 26 centimeters by 25 centimeters.
So it's like a foot.
That's baseball size, softball size.
No, it's like a 12-inch, right?
Look at that fucker.
Basically.
That's the purple one right there, isn't it? Wasn't Hornhead purple?
I think that's what I said. I think it's the purple one's Hornhead.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I remember the eye was the first thing to go because that was what you stuck your thumb in to get a grip, and after a while, that eye didn't fucking cut it.
Dude, Mad Balls were the coolest shit, dude. They were fucking awesome. I still love them. I'm right there with you, Sean. So be on the lookout for this one. You have to. It is sold out. So there we go.
Yeah,
That's
that's
bummer.
cool.
You have to buy it on the secondary market, brother.
I don't have space, so if I have space, like I gotta pick and choose all the space. There's no space behind me or above me or anywhere.
Yeah. Did you guys already...
I gotta sell some shit or put it in boxes in garage. I don't know.
Did you already talk about the NFT thing with what's his name? Wasn't there something with Pharrell or something?
Pharrell, yeah. So Pharrell actually, I don't know if you guys remember, but he became the chief brand officer of the NFT called Doodles, probably about 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. And, that was kind of a big deal for that NFT project. And of course, recently he was just made the creative director of Louis Vuitton as well. So, a lot of people in the Web3 space are speculating that there's going to be like some crazy collaborations coming up for Doodles and potentially a Louis Vuitton and Doodles collaboration. So that's where people's heads are going. And I could see that happening easily, like a free redemption for something crazy. Marcus and I were just talking, Invisible Friends just did like a really cool redemption for these dope jackets and all this stuff. But you had to have like a Kith Friend, which was like the collaboration with BMW. So,
and the Kith Friend is much cheaper to get than the Invisible Friend. It's still a 2D character, but all the Kith Friend does, it allows you to purchase the capsule. And or like when you buy the Kith Friend, some of the stuff you get for free, like a free shirt, free this, free that, and then some stuff you just have access to buy.
Yeah.
So it's NFT is coming. They're finding new ways to, rally the troops and make it all make sense. I think this is a great move. Pharrell will most definitely have some Louis Vuitton on some of these doodles. You might as well get prepared for that. As well as don't be shocked if you see doodles when you go into the Louis Vuitton store or as a print or as, something else. Like this is going to take the doodles brand exponential, and it's already high. It's already expensive.
Yeah. And keep in mind, Pharrell is by being the creative director at Louis Vuitton, he's filling the shoes of Virgil Abloh, who was the previous creative director over there.
Man, I can't take him too seriously when you got glasses on like that. If that's what he's creating and directing,
I couldn't take him too seriously with that crazy cowboy hat he was rocking, the Pee Wee Herman
Arby's
cowboy hat.
He thought he was fucking Arby's.
Yeah,
I remember. You're handing this guy the keys.
Hey, listen, y'all gonna get off my man for real.
How many pairs of bathing apes did you wear out in public? How many times have you ever seen those ugly bathing apes that go for all that crazy money? Actually, someone wearing them though.
You remember I worked in hip-hop. I have 6 pairs of those that I've worn out.
He's wearing some right now, Trey.
I'm wearing some right now. And I'm also wearing a bathing ape bra. That's it.
If Pharrell can still kickflip, then he's good with me.
No one ever really dies, man. No one ever really dies.
No one ever really dies. That's it. Good for Pharrell with Louis Vuitton. That's a good look.
Did you guys happen to see the new first appearance of MODOK Vivi Tales of Suspense 94? Pretty interesting.
How could anyone actually want to own that if they went and watched that movie?
I agree.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You telling the truth, Trey.
Bro, but look how bad. I think this cover right here looks great, dude, by Todd Knock. I don't know why. I fucking love that cover. I've always thought MODOK, like the old Jack Kirby weird design of him, was always so cool as a kid, and I've always had a soft spot for MODOK. So for me, this cover is one of the few Vivi things that I've seen where I went, holy shit, I get it. It's an ultra rare NFT, but I would love to see this as a real cover. And if they would do something with their ultra rares and create some type of physical copy with their ultra rares, I think it would just shoot the Vivi NFTs up into the stratosphere. But who knows?
Well,
It looks like he just looks like a mad ball sitting in a chair, though. Now that we're talking about mad balls and shit, that's exactly what MODOK is.
well,
Did y'all go? Did anybody? Did
No,
you
go
go see
ahead.
the movie, Brian?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was great, man. I thought that there was definitely some cheesy moments, but I think that most of us knew what we were getting with the movie. Like we wanted like that drama, that darkness, but it's a Paul Rudd movie. You're gonna have cheesy, funny stuff, and but I loved it for that fact. It didn't hit my expectations, but I liked it. But there was a couple moments where I was like, ooh, that's rough. And the MODOK part where he was dying was pretty rough. That was pretty cheesy. So.
Well, since if you haven't seen the movie at this point, I mean, whatever, I'm gonna go and tell it to you.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but yeah,
it's been a couple of days. For Kang, let's just talk about this. Kang, phenomenal actor, Jonathan Majors. I mean, he was amazing. He's an amazing Kang. When they really get all this shit together, Kang is gonna be a badass mofo. But for him to be taken out by ants,
he wasn't taken out, brother.
And he cried.
And he cried.
He Paul Rudd fist fought that dude with no powers and kind of slopped him. Like,
bro,
that's what I mean.
He's
Like,
been alive for centuries, dude. And like, he got to know better fight moves than Ant-Man. Paul Rudd.
Listen,
I wish that one of the Kangs would be the guy that Creed's fighting, because that would have been way better. Because he would at least start fucking punching ants in the face and shit.
Look at this. Now this is real. This is good. He Who Remains, Kang the Conqueror, actually, Ramatut, Immortus, Victor Timely, Scarlet Centurion. The Victor Timely one was the one that got me because that's letting you know that Loki, that next season of Loki, that was cool. That was I give it that. But that was all that it was for me. It was just like, oh, okay, this is the next season of Loki. That's what he's doing.
He's not done though. There's no way that the Kang the Conqueror version the Kang version we saw in Ant-Man is done. If he was done, they would have let him actually die. So he didn't actually die. He went into that.
Yeah. But
digital verse or whatever.
There. Brian, I'm gonna stop you right there, bro. Let's just be for real. He Who Remains died at Loki, and he said in the first season of Loki, the person behind me is the one you really don't want to see. So I think that these Kangs keep dying because there's so many of them on the other side. It's like the whole place, they rounded them all up. So he very well could be gone, but it's so many of them out there. It's so many Kangs.
Yeah,
that's just my thought.
Just
my thought.
Vinny.
Vinny, who cares?
I don't want to see that happen because, again, like I was so stoked for this character, and I hope they turn it around. But again, it didn't hit my expectations. That's for sure.
It just didn't have that feel like when Thanos showed up, like that dread. And I mean, when the Council of Kings came, people were, I swear to God, half the theater watched half of it and could care less and was going out the theater. They didn't understand what was going on. They didn't understand why there was 1,000 Kings and what was going on, and they didn't care. That was what got me the most, was watching the audience's reaction. There was 4 couples that got up and left halfway through the movie, and I wasn't too far behind it. After the Bill Murray Kryler scene,
that was terrible.
I literally said, this is the worst movie I've ever paid to watch, but I wanted to see the 2 end credit scenes, and they were both lackluster to me.
Yeah.
I love Paul Rudd, but that movie needed 40% more Paul Rudd instead of all the other characters. I mean, there was more Michelle Pfeiffer in that movie than there was Paul Rudd.
She looked good though.
Yeah.
For 60 plus years old, man, she looked fan-fucking-tastic.
Hey, but it's funny because I was agreeing with Joe's comments in the chat there, but also he was bringing up the timeline thing. If you're there and you're in the quantum realm, but you're there and you think you're only there a minute or 5 minutes, but then Michelle Pfeiffer aged 30 years, does that have a different effect on aging on different people? Is that how that goes?
The other thing was Cassie and Antifa.
No.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Well,
it acted like it. It felt like it. Why she was in jail and shit.
It just
then
Michael Douglas bringing up the ants and then the socialism thing. It was just, there was a bunch of things in that movie that turned me off. the main thing was the quantum realm. I read comic books, and a majority of you guys do too, or did at one point in time. Did y'all know a single character?
No, none of those characters other than Krylar were actually in comics, I don't think.
See, that's what I didn't know. Like, so
idea.
why did we waste all that time with that one chick with all the poor makeup on? That was like, what was her whole thing? And then there was a guy with the fucking photon head or whatever.
Yeah, dude, and like the jelly guy, it's like a fucking Disney cutesy fucking.
You got to
That was
drink
Jar Jar
him to be able to
stupid
understand
fucking-
people.
What are those fucking yellow things
Sounds
everybody
confusing.
likes?
I haven't seen the movie yet, but it sounds
So
all
there
confusing.
is one thing that I really loved is how
slept through
quick
half
they
of it.
got into the
I swear to
story.
God, I slept through probably an hour of it. I just
Oh,
wake
no.
up and I'm like, oh my god.
They got into it like this. In the first 5 minutes, it was like, boom, they're sucked into the quantum realm. You know what I mean? Which was very
Yeah.
good.
That's the only
Okay.
thing I didn't know. The whole fucking thing took place in the quantum realm, or 95% of it. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna
I
be
think it
interesting.
needed, but Marcus brought this up, but Michael Pena and T.I. were needed in that movie.
Yeah.
Bad. Brought that up on the Rumble. Bad.
Yeah.
We talked about it on Rumble. They were needed. It was dry. This movie was dry. Paul Rudd is an amazing actor, but it was dry.
Oh, what was the best part? It is. You know what I
I
mean?
think DC, you know what? Between Love and Thunder failing as badly as it did, I liked Black Panther too, but at the same point in time, with Chadwick being dead, Robert Downey Jr. not being in the, and Chris Evans gone, I just don't think they have the star power to carry this phase like the other ones did. And there's a reason that they're offering Downey Jr. $80 million and trying to do that, but Black Panther 2 definitely did not hit the same marks as BP1 to most people. I enjoyed the movie, but I don't think it was as good as the first one. Is this
It was
where
missing
Gunn and
one
DC
thing that they couldn't
legitimately have a
have,
chance?
so- Yeah, that's a good point.
Here's the thing, and and we talked about this too. Now is the time for DC to strike. If they have every piece of momentum, because even when we talked on the what happened?
You better not fart. He doesn't know he's not muted.
Oh God, Ferg!
You're not.
Oh,
muted,
please
Ferg.
don't do something, Stuart. Ferg, don't do anything stupid, buddy.
I got him. I'll say it.
Ferg is muted, rubbing on his titties.
I say
Dude,
it.
I dropped the fart heard around the world on flip side just doing that camera button.
that
Dude.
boy
I had to
said-
go pick up something on the floor.
That boy Ferg said, "Oh shit."
Brian's never laughed so hard in his fucking life.
So, no, but
Dude,
no,
His laughing was.
Dude, I listen to a podcast when I'm usually I jump in the shower, I'll throw on music or a podcast, and I was listening to this podcast, and this dude was talking about growing up in New York in the like the 60s, and he said that they all had like septurns and septic tanks, and whenever it would flood, it would create these like cesspools out in people's yards, and he called it fart water, and I about lost it. He goes, dude, the shit smelled so bad, it was fart water, and I about fucking lost it, dude. I love those moments where you just can't control yourself laughing, even if nobody's around to hear you laugh. You can't help but laugh your ass off, and again, another reason why humor is so fucking great. So,
Dude, when I used to live on those oil rigs, they'd have to, there's basically a 400-gallon tank outside of your trailer with potable water that was hooked up to your sanitation, your shower, everything. Dude, I thank God it didn't happen to me, but 2 days before I was set to arrive, they hooked the plumbing up wrong and went to take a shower and got that tank.
oh,
And
it's like getting tipped over in a porta potty.
Listen, I'm here to let you know. I'm here to let you know right now.
That's
Listen,
wrong.
I turn on that water. If I turn on the water and I'm showering and shit, the minute I get the I'm gone. I'm out of there. I'm out of there. I'm out of there. Because I shower, the water hit you all in the mouth, so you sit up there, you start smelling because your eyes close when you walk in the shower. Your eyes closed and shit. And you look up and you.
The
Where'd he go?
Sanctum Sanctorum got him.
Listen, I'm out of there. I'm
Hey,
here to let you know.
So Ant-Man
I'm outta there.
was pretty iffy, but Guardians of the Galaxy is getting closer now. What do you guys think about that? You guys got any thoughts on that?
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna fucking ugly cry in the movie
I
theater.
don't I don't want to watch it basically because Trey's saying, man. Like, I feel
gonna
like
happen.
it's gonna be a sad freaking movie.
Yeah.
If Rocket dies, and I mean, basically, there in the last trailer, there's a screenshot or one frame of Chris Pratt losing his shit, even more than when Gamora died. And anything, you can see the just anguish and just everything in his face. This isn't gonna be a fun ride, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, get him out of here. He wants to do, Jurassic Park, all that other shit. I'm not worried about this piece. I think it's gonna be definitely sad to see it happen. But again, I mean, shit. When Iron Man died, it was sad. The whole funeral and everything, and then they put the chess piece in the water. It was glowing and floated away. I mean, it don't get no sadder than that. So I hate to see Rocket go, but again, he was already put together anyway. So,
dude, I tell you what, the fucking end of Infinity War, when the snap happened, when Tom Holland and Spider-Man
took me down.
That took me down. But I mean, the Robert Downey was sad, but the way that the theater reacted to Peter disappearing into RDJ's arms, it's one of those things that people had to be there at Infinity War and Endgame on opening night to understand what we're talking about. But that energy and just the crowd noise and the dead silence after the snap. I mean, literally the whole theater, as walking out, they weren't fucking talking because they couldn't process what happened. I'll never forget it.
The amount of people that cried, the amount of people, my bad, Fred, the amount of people that cried and literally lost it, kids, everything, and the amount of kids that cried when they came back, when they walked back, when it said, when they heard on your left, on that other,
I love that part.
Man, when when you heard on your left, and he comes swinging out, and Mr. Stark had been that hug there between them two. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Marvel did a great job with that Avengers shit. Like it was.
Except for the woman power-up scene, that was really cheesy when all the women got together and that was
Valkyrie
bad.
and all that.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna have more of that, unfortunately, at this day and age.
Honestly, I was in Santa Monica at a packed theater, and like not only packed, but like they have this big old screen, the old school packed, where it's like everybody's like packed in together. Like there's, I don't know, a couple hundred people in here or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? It's not the recliner seats and all that shit. You're like in a regular ass old school movie theater where everybody's cramped in here. Dude, I remember they had the groups of kids like moaning and shit when fucking Black Panther went, and then when fucking Peter went, right? And then everyone, it was like, what the fuck just happened? I'm basically reiterating basically what Trey said, but yeah, I just remember the feeling of this theater. Like, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure. And like Trey did some openings with me down there, but not at that theater. We did like the nicer ones, the like newer ones in Marina Del Rey. But this is like a big one on the promenade on 3rd Street, like a Saturday afternoon, just packed to the gills, right? Mm-hmm. And that was like just having that feeling again, like of just being cramped in there. I don't think I've ever have or ever will have a feeling like that again in my life in a movie theater, because of just what that 10 years build up to. Basically, well, they had one after, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
10 years build up to that, and then the fact that people just go to the fucking movies. And then they've remodeled them to make you comfortable, it's a better. I like recliners better. Plus, like, I'm 6'6". If I gotta pee, you gotta get up. Like, sorry, dude, I can't. You know what I mean? Like, you have to stand up. Or if you want to walk by me, I gotta stand up. Right? This is not like a little thing. I like the new ones where you could just run out and pee if you want right in front of people. But like, but I think that's the last time I'll ever have that feeling in a movie theater. Maybe a comedy theater have a similar thing. If you see somebody's, recorded, live special or something like that, like, holy shit, then you'll have it like on Netflix and be like, I was there or something. But like for as far as a movie crammed into a place like that, that's just, man, it's damn near a thing of the past. And I'm pretty sad about that, by the way, because I like going to the movies.
There's 3 things in my life that I wish everybody, honest to God, could experience as a crowd. One of them is a game-winning bucket in the playoffs, and you're the home team, which I got to experience in the Thunder Game 6 against
Clippers
the
Spurs Game 7.
The
I had the
Denver
opposite
Nuggets.
96 finals with John Paxson at the Suns.
That's rough. But the thing that will never forget more than anything, by far and away, 1998, November 1998, being at Monday Night Raw and hearing the fucking glass break.
Oh, hell yeah.
I honest to God wish that everybody could feel that fucking energy when he comes running down the pipe that first year when he first started popping.
Yeah.
I've never had goosebumps. And I'm talking about it.
I have it right now.
I'm not a big
I wasn't even there.
I'm not a big wrestling dude, but I will never forget just out of nowhere hearing that glass break and hearing 20,000 people lose their fucking minds for about 2 minutes.
Scream for John Cena. I know it's crazy, man. It's amazing.
When you hear the glass, it's your ass, dude.
Yeah,
That's it, dude. Come out, you know why? Just fucking pounding beers, doing it, dude. The Attitude Era was the fucking shit. The Attitude Era rivals the first 7 WrestleManias.
You hear that glass breaker Hulk Hogan come running down? I'm telling you, it was amazing.
Trey, I
dude,
had that.
You think I don't tear up when I hear Real American from Hulk?
To this day,
I swear to God, right now, you play I Am a Real American when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. Dude, I will. Yeah, I'll let it loose right now, dude.
This right here,
I was a Hulkamaniac, dude.
Yeah,
I had that feeling last year. Mariners Friday night, Cal Raleigh 2 outs, one man on. He cracks a home run. Whole stadium went nuts. Mariners haven't made playoffs in 20 years. I'll never forget it.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome last year.
Yeah,
dude, there's some. Do you think that we'll ever have events like we're talking about the movies? I don't know if we'll ever have comic book movies that had that same effect as some of those early Marvel movies. I don't know if a wrestler will ever pop like that again because so much has been exposed about wrestling in the last 10, 12 years. I will say this, a Conor McGregor entrance in Las Vegas, and Sean's been the same ones I have, they are on par with a Stone Cold. It's a little bit different, but when McGregor's Sinead O'Connor song comes on and he comes out, it's got an energy that's really hard to explain.
Dude, Manny Pacquiao in his that's a nation watching one dude.
This movie might do that with the group Rocket group moment, because here's what I'm thinking. Based on this box right here, I don't think Rocket's going to die. I think he's going to get a chance, get a wish, and be able to be normal and go back to being like a baby raccoon and live his life like normal. And you see the little baby raccoon on the box of this new Groot toy.
That's a good find, B. I didn't notice that.
So what if it's Rocket's baby? What if Rocket has a baby?
Oh shit.
Okay, so I know kids like I know Rocket Raccoon is like, he's a crowd favorite, he's a fan favorite. I know some of this shit's toys. They do the cute Groot stuff. This Groot's the ugliest Groot they've ever done, and it's ridiculous. I can't even believe they're fucking going with this. But like, do they want to murk off Rocket as like a? I don't know.
I agree with that. Great point.
Line or anything?
No, he's an animal too. You don't want to kill an animal. Like, you kill an animal, you could kill a fan base. You know what I mean? And that's sad that's the saying now, but that's what Disney has done. Like, you can kill a human or a human character and we don't care. You kill an animal or a dog and I'm fucking pissed. You know what I mean? Like, if I see a dog get killed in the movie, I don't want to go to a movie if I know a dog's going to get killed in the movie. And that's that subliminal messaging that we've gotten over the years with, killing Bambi's mom and Bambi and, growing up seeing, human forms on animals in this. And that's not life. You know what I mean? So I think that they know that, being Disney now, that, hey, we can't kill Rocket. He's an animal. We can't do it. We'll kill a fan base.
I'm gonna tell you when all of it got real. When Mufasa died, that's when Disney realized what it was. When Mufasa fell off that damn cliff and died in Lion King. When Simba Daddy died, it was up. Simba Daddy, when he died, it was up.
Yeah.
I'm just telling y'all that was a whole thing.
Shout out to Red Hood. Appreciate you, brother. $4.99 super chat. Much love, brother.
What up, Joe?
He had a really, really good show on Sunday night. Make sure you guys go check it out. He's doing a great pressing show. It was fan-freaking-tastic, man. So, good stuff. All right. I want to get into one of our main topics tonight, if not the main topic, something that just... I haven't gotten too much into it yet, but it is by far one of the funniest things that I've seen in a long time. And that is the comments on a new book that's come out today that is selling pretty big on the secondary market. A new book by famed creator Dave Sim, a.k.a. Cerebus and all that stuff. Cancel America Comics, #1. And let me just run down a quick synopsis of the story. I think you guys kind of get it. Introducing Captain Antifa, the champion of every equity-seeking group, striking a blow on behalf of the extreme hard left with an extreme hard right. He believes in free speech so much. How much? So much that he's willing to knock out anyone who disagrees with him. He may not agree with what you say, but he'll defend it to the death. Perfect timing. Oh my God, that was perfect timing, dude.
$5 a fart, everybody. $5 a fart.
Wait a minute. What the hell just happened? Was that a sound? Was that a sound? That soundboard?
That was a super chat from Jizzy Gillespie that said, Ferd, make a fart noise.
Okay.
Ferd, did you fart like for real?
The problem is, we know Wade's gonna ask for one of those every show now.
Yeah, you got it.
So wait a minute.
Y'all let the genie out by even letting him request shit. Now Wade's gonna put that envelope till he sees some dick.
Yeah, he's not cheap either, man. So
no, he'll throw 100 out there to see some shaft just to see if we'll do it.
Yeah.
So continuing, it says
for the right price, it can get real dark in this room, baby. You just let me know what we're doing.
Also meet Captain Antifa's platonic non-binary companion, Lucille, dropping truth bombs on every page. Get with the program or else. Now, real quick, I can't tell if this is a joke within a joke, if he's making fun of every side, one side or the other. I don't know, but I want to open you guys' minds to the comments because these comments are excellent.
I want to read it. Is my issue.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to judge this, but it's just a comic book I could have read, and I didn't have time to. Also, don't have a copy of it. Obviously, it came out today, right?
Yeah, and it's selling pretty big on the secondary market. Wasn't very many. Yeah.
From Dave Sim, I would read this issue. I mean, I doubt it's probably going to be an ongoing. Is it? I don't know, but like, from Dave Sim drops this himself, I'd read it. You know?
Yeah. So listen to these comments. These are great. One guy says, concentrated boomer energy. This shtick felt overdone in 2016. Now it just feels really pathetic. I'm so embarrassed for Dave Sim. Another guy writes, laughing my ass off. What the hell is this nonsense? 6+-year-old jokes about, quote, violent left and, quote, gender non-conforming characters. Absolutely embarrassing. Next
also,
quote.
The top comment, Integra, if you notice, he ruined his Christmas.
Yeah.
That was December 25th.
Yeah. I have another guy says, I have secondhand embarrassment for Dave Sin. Another guy says, what the fuck is this shit? Guy taking a break from ruining Cerebus with his weirdo political rants to creating an entirely new book for his weirdo political rants. I was about to say, quote, who is actually paying to publish this? And then I see it's his own label. Pathetic. Another guy says, the fact that neither far left nor right can laugh about this is pathetic, but predictable. Looks like your average modern DC Marvel comic to me. Boom. Wow.
This is why people don't read comics anymore on either side, because it's just utter trash.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. Where did satire go? What's wrong with? I miss satire. I grew up reading Mad Magazine, right? Satire. The comico ridiculoso shit that I wrote for the website, all pure satire, nothing else, right? All I'm doing is making fun of shit because I'm really good at making fun of shit. So You know, I'm not better than anybody. That's not what I'm trying to say. But like, I like laughing. You see, like, you guys see me on here trying to make jokes about everything because it's like that's how I get through fucking life. Okay.
Yeah.
I just I don't get it. Give it a chance. And people, people 2 months before it comes out, saying this, and I don't know anything about Dave Sim. I mean, I know who he is. His comic career. I did not know that he's done anything political. I haven't read any Cerebus lately. So a lot of people think Cerebus is a fucking Spawn character. So,
that's pretty funny, dude. That's actually really funny, man.
yeah, I mean, I hope it's both. I hope it's both. Just laugh at everything. I like to laugh at everything. That's me. But yeah,
I just love reading comics, comments on stuff like this. I think they're they're the best like thing, especially like on Twitter and all that type of stuff. Go and read the comments on all that stuff. But man, there's some really, really good ones. Another guy says, does anyone have any suggestion as to whom are these comics or pieces of these comics may be aimed at? Honest question. Are they just designed to allow Rich at Bleeding Cool an easy write-up, second only to Ray Fluke in reusing material from earlier posts? Are they no superior pieces of comics news or analysis to be reported on anymore? Every month, the same damn thing. Wouldn't quote, for those that like this sort of thing, this is the sort of thing they like to do. And it's true. Trey said it. This is why people don't read comics anymore. They want an escape from the fucking rigmarole bullshit. They don't want to hear the same, talk radio shit when they open a comic book. They want to go back to being a kid. They want to go back to, reading a cool story, take them out of their shitty political life or whatever it is, take them out of the real world. It's pretty tough, man. It's very
comics they've always had a little bit of there's been political shit like throughout. It's just I just feel that there's so much polarization now that it just everybody looks, I don't know, everybody looks for it to be everybody starts thinking, okay, which way is this leaning before they even fucking pay attention to what they're getting into. You know what I mean? People, I think, used to look at things with an open mind, and I just I don't think people do anymore.
No.
The problem
unfortunately,
the problem is the people that some of these writers and publishers are placating to, they don't realize they don't actually spend money and buy comics. Mm-hmm. The people that they're alienating with some of this stuff are the people that actually go into stores and buy comics. And that's the reason comic sales are hurting and the industry's not doing very good at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Tuesday and Wednesday, there's one person who talks about books they read that I know of. And that's Evan. That's the only Ferd reads a little bit. There's a couple other people, but I mean, everyone talks about comics and selling comics, but nobody fucking reads them or understands what's inside them. And it just, I don't know how you can sell comics and not read and understand what's going on. I just don't get it. And that's where we're at in comics right now.
To answer the question a tiny bit, Trey. So selling comics and being involved, especially back in the day, like all day, that G plus, the good old days, and doing podcasts, as dumb as it sounds, that part of comics took more of my time from reading comics than it did before I didn't have any friends that read comics, if that makes sense. When I would just sit in my apartment and I go on Wednesdays and I will go home and I would read my comics. Mm-hmm. I also could walk to work, and there was an LCS between work and home, which made Wednesdays fun as shit. Every Monday I get to check out every title. You know what I mean? I just walk home and I'd read constantly, and just doing this stuff, man, I got out of the reading habit, and I'm not proud of that. I do read. I wish I read a lot more than I do, but I kind of don't. So this is sort of takes my time, but I have fun doing this. But you're right. You're right. Like there's LCS owners that pride themselves. They read every single comic that comes out. Like everyone, and they try to read them by Wednesday so they can talk to you. I'm like, I don't know if I want that gig, right? I don't know if I'm reading 50 a Tuesday, but you know what I mean. I definitely wish I'd read more, but like a lot of them just don't hold my shit. The indie stuff, to be honest, I like it. I've ended up liking it more than what our characters do, resetting the titles and stuff like that. I think DC did a good job going 100 something issues on Batman now. You know, it's like it restarted. And what did New 52 Batman end? Did it end at 52 or 50?
No, it ended. I think it ended at like a weird number, like a 9. Remember, it was right
80
after Snyder,
something,
after
right?
the Endgame thing. So I don't think it. Maybe 70.
I don't think it was that high. I think it was like 50 because Batman died in 40. Remember our combo pack fiascos? So there was that. So, but the end game was, I mean, God, it was good. 35 through 40. Yeah, Trey and I might have kind of known ahead of time Batman was gonna die. So,
Do any of you guys watch wrestling?
Up on number 40. That
like today?
No,
I'm a wrestling fan. I know people that are like big. There's so many. I can't keep up with the feds. You know what I mean? Like there's people everywhere. There's like 3 or 4 different TV shows of wrestling, I believe. We need Clutch on here, man. He flyers all over and goes to that shit.
The reason I ask is because, like, you know, we're talking about like, you know, representation, all that stuff. I look back at like old school, like Attitude Era, like Royal Rumble stuff, and that was like my shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you had freaking The Rock saying poutine pie and all that type of stuff, right? I just wonder, like, is wrestling, do they do stuff like that anymore? And like, because that audience is definitely like, they're into that type of stuff, right? Which I kind of feel like comic books is as well.
They're similar
like,
fans for sure. If you've
you
been to a
know what I mean?
con, they're wrestling fans or comic fans, dude.
I don't know.
You know,
They're not Antifa or
it
whatever.
just seems like
here,
Brock
you know what
Lesnar.
I mean?
You know, it was a couple years ago. They had to bring Goldberg back after a 12-year retirement to inject some energy because Brock Lesnar, they couldn't put him against anyone else. The Roman Reigns thing, I don't understand. Apparently, he's their big superstar now, but I don't get it. I mean, I'm not spending any money to go watch that guy in the ring. He has the charisma as fucking me. You know what I mean? He's not gonna. No one's gonna want to see him fucking wrestle. The only guy that I've seen in the last 5 years that actually kind of made me wonder if I should watch a little bit more is that MJF guy that's in AEW.
Yeah.
He's fucking really good on the mic, but at the same point in time, I just don't have time to watch wrestling. There's so many hours in a night. I'd rather watch a ball game at this juncture in my life.
Yeah, me too. But I know people that really just like always loved it, and still do. I mean, I did back then. I was pre-attitude. Like I was, like my WrestleMania 1 was a tour, so it was Hogan and Mr. T against Mr. Wonderful and son of a bitch. Who was his tag team partner? I don't know. I forget. Then 2 was Hogan and King Kong Bundy. 3 was Hogan body slams Andre the Giant. Number 4 is the tournament. The Macho Man wins. 5 is the Mega Powers Explode, which is Hogan and Macho Man. Number 6 is my favorite ever. Warrior pins Hogan at the Sky Dome in Toronto and he's got the Continental and Championship belts over the head in the ring, right? I went to Toronto looking for like memorabilia for that, and I couldn't find it anywhere in the city. And I was like, you guys are doing a terrible job of the greatest sporting event that ever happened here. Fuck Joe Carter, okay? So actually, I love Joe Carter, but yeah. So it was so it was good stuff, man. That was that, and then it sort of it fell. I don't know if it fell off or I just was doing shit. Like, like by then I'm playing like high school sports and stuff. I'm not spending Saturdays watching shit like that or like anytime. And then the Attitude Era hit, dude, and it was all new. But now you can't do the misogyny anymore. You can't like you know what I mean? You can't walk out and punch women in the face. And so they just I don't think that happens. The women's division is also awesome.
I missed it when they got punched in the face, damn it.
Hey, dude, we all all straight. Sean Connery, Burt Reynolds, you know what I mean? So just macking them, but so it was that, man. So it was, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. Attitude was good. They can't do, but the women now are just like MMA. The women are actually like super skilled, because back then like they had Lita and that was almost it. She was just so savage compared to everybody. She was she was one of the they had to make her one of the Hardy Boys, And so so Lita was about everybody else is out now. These women are such like they're trained athletes now. You know, so is what it is. It works. Yeah. So
Fuck
it's
that.
a
China's
lot
the
of fun.
goat.
Oh yeah, China. I gave her a hug.
China's
Dude,
the female goat.
man, I saw her at the SB Awards and I
Wonder.
said, "Hey China, can I give you a hug?" And she says, "Yes, you can." And I go like this. I give her a nice side hug. We were walking out of the. I had backstage pass and shit. Anyway,
I met her at the Pittsburgh Three Rivers Con like 8-9 years ago, the year before she died, and I just felt sorry for her. Like, what was crazy was she was next to Ralph Macchio, and this was before Cobra Kai. So they were literally like the worst booth that you could get at this con in Pittsburgh. No one was around them. They were talking to each other. I sent photos to Big Leg and a couple other people's in our hangouts. Like, this is so fucking sad.
I don't want
And
to see
it's
him.
crazy how Ralph Macchio is now. I mean, is he B-, B+ star now? Would you put him? Where would you put Macchio?
It is the worst acted best show in history of television.
love that
Is the Karate
freaking
Kid
show.
or the Cobra Kai. Worst acted best.
He's
show of all
relevant again
time.
though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
And he like left acting, so it wasn't really a big deal for him. He was just like, I'm done acting, right? Before Cobra Kai. So
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, he wasn't doing that.
yeah. She's probably like, oh, whatever.
Fuck, I just forgot what I was gonna say. Let's get into the.
I got
main-
something. Go
Go
Did you
ahead.
ever hear the story about Andre the Giant finger fucking 5 Playboy models at the mansion at one time?
No, but that sounds fucking amazing.
No, there's a story where Robert De Niro tells it in a movie where he says that Andre the Giant
Robert De
stacked 5
Niro?
girls on top. I swear to God.
Is it like a real
There's a
story?
clip. I'll send- I don't know if that's true or not, but in this clip, Robert De Niro talks about Andre the Giant stacking 5 Playboy models on top of each other, 1, 2, 3, 5, and he was able to finger fuck them all this way.
Well, I remember that seeing him hold a can of beer. It looked like a little mini can of beer.
Dude, it looks like
I gotta send this
It's
to
so
you.
small, it's in his hand, you can't even fucking see it.
Yeah. He would go through a 12-pack or something on the drive from the airport to the hotel.
Hey, coming to you, B, in the private chat. Just I think you might want to look at it first to see if we can play it or not. I don't
All
want to
right.
get you in
It's
trouble.
not China's porn, is it, man? I feel bad. She was a nice person.
I put it in the private chat.
Oh,
I see.
Just so y'all don't think I was making this shit up out of thin air. I saw this video.
All right, let's see
He's
what we got.
explaining to his grandson.
All right, here we go. Can you hear
Back
it?
in the 80s, when Andre
Yeah.
the Giant used to go to the Playboy Mansion, he'd stack 5 playmates on top of each other on a bed and finger fuck them all, 5 at a time, because his hands were so big. So, that's it.
that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh my god. All right, let's get into the Furred Bird, the Nerd. 5 for 5. You ready, brother?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do
Let's
it.
do it. All right, here we go. 5
All right.
investments for 5 years. Let me start on the first one. Starting off with some. Is this the right set?
Yeah, these are the
Okay.
right ones. Yep.
Okay.
For sure. All right, so Trey, you kind of put me on this one. I was watching your Rumble this past week. You guys are all on Rumble, and I went out looking for these packs just to kind of get a gauge of what a pack goes for. I got to thinking, like, okay, so if this Rayquaza, is that how you say it? His name? So if he does become the Charizard going forward, like you guys were saying, maybe not opening a bunch of packs to try and get anyone, but holding on to packs like these, because you can get these for like $12 to $19, going forward and just holding on to them for the next 5 years. That might be a good play. I mean, this could be quintuple, quadruple, whatever, going forward. And I always feel like you can get good cards out of these 3-packs versus just kind of going singles like at Best Buy or whatever. So that was kind of where my mind was on this Evolving Skies 3-pack here.
Yeah, quick rundown though. Give a back deal that Pokemon, after 25 years, Ash became the the grand champion of all Pokemon. So they've decided to go ahead and reboot it with new characters. And Rayquaza is going to be the dragon type character that's going to replace Charizard in that pantheon. So it's just kind of more speculating on, what cards we need to be grabbing that can potentially have some Charizard potential, and therefore, and this is really good on your part. I didn't even think about these 3-packs with the Evolving Skies, because you can still find those at some Targets depending on where you live.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next.
So you guys probably all heard that iPhone sale that went for $77K, first iPhone ever. Pretty interesting story. So with all this metaverse talk we've been talking about, it kind of made me think, and this is like a really big stretch, but what if you were to own like the first Oculus ever and just put it away, metaverse blows up, becomes kind of like what the iPhone has become today. It's a big buy-in, like that's a huge risk, $500 without using something that's, usable. Anyway, that's kind of where my head was at. Who knows? This could be $77K one day.
How many of you guys have your first iPod still?
I have my first iPhone 3G.
I don't.
Second iPhone ever. It's sitting in my bedroom.
I have my first
I wish
iPod.
I had mine.
But I slammed my iPod in the door when I was young, so it has like a little kink in the back, but I still have that first iPod that they put out, man. That was the greatest thing ever made for me.
The scroll wheel?
Yeah, the scroll wheel, yeah.
The click, 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 click,
Yep.
click. Yeah.
Because I worked in a wafer fab, a microchip fab, and I worked from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., and all I did was listen to. I downloaded every Coast to Coast AM show that was ever made, man, like 2,000 of them, and I would listen to Coast AM all 12 hours of that, and it was so great, dude. It made my life so much better. And then it got out that I had run a thing up to my ear and had my iPod in my pocket, and I would, because a little click, you could just tap it and it would stop.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Why are you tapping?" And I don't know. It's just a thing I do. And it got out. Instead of getting in trouble, next thing I know, everybody at the fab has one and is wearing iPods. It was great, dude. It was glorious. But I still have my iPod, and I heard those things sell for a decent amount too if you have one in good condition.
They do.
Yeah.
Dude, coast to coast.
Dude, the Zoom
I thought it was
crazy?
only me. Anyway,
My buddy had a Zoom, and he thought the Zoom was going to be it, man.
Zoom. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But you guys remember that in Guardians 1, that's what fucking Peter had.
Yeah.
Was a
That's right.
Zoom, and they blew up on eBay.
Yeah.
And then that one dude that had the tattoo and everything. But I mean, that's Ferd, I think this might be the best speculation I've honest to God heard in a very long time. I like where your brain's at on this, because you're right. How many people are going to keep this sealed and boxed up for 20 years? The odds of the seal making it are rare to begin with, because you all know how cellophane is. I mean, you pick the box up wrong.
Yeah.
It's too hot. You rub it against something with a sharp edge. So I don't think you're wrong on this. I think if you have the patience and the storage capabilities, down the road, this might, because VR is doing nothing but getting more and more popular every year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same thing like the iPhone. So every year they're going to improve on it. To what are they at, the 15.9 or whatever the fuck it is now, 15S or whatever. So
Right.
if you have the patience and the storage, I like this.
Thank you.
Yeah, but the only problem with that is I'd have to buy two, because I already want one.
Yeah, I know.
don't have
I know.
one.
I
So
know.
I've used Friends, but just like swimming underwater with it, and I'm like, holy shit, like running into walls. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, and it hits that age group of like six. Like, so I got the kind of idea also. Usage is my fiance's nephew. He's 16, and he's always on that motherfucker all the time. So I'm just like, man, when he turns like 10 years from now, he's gonna be like, oh man, I wish I want. That was kind of what I was thinking. So anyway,
Good stuff.
Jared Kellenick.
so baseball heads. I went kind of home plate on this one. So Jared Kellenick's like So when people talk about Julio, before Julio, Jared Kellenick was supposed to be Julio, essentially.
Mets fans
got it.
hate the fact that they traded Jared Kellenick for Robinson Cano. It was like one of the worst trade in Mets history until Jared Kellenick got called up.
Yeah, and he just I mean, he's got every single, like, you know, like any baseball player that is like a prospect or any prospect in general. 5-tool. It's all up here, man. He's just an intense dude. Like Julio's like carefree. What you call it? Jared's a complete opposite. So, my thought process with this is get in low. I mean, you could get hit. This PSA 10 is like going for $89. This is his draft, like Bowman Chrome draft. PSA 10 for a number 5 pick overall. That's in the majors. Like he's not a prospect. He's in the majors. He's like.
I would suggest if you're going to take a shot on him, take a shot on his auto, because if you think that, you know, this stuff is cheap, his autos were like going for 5 times what they are now. It was ridiculous. This kid was supposed to be like the next thing. And Bowman draft at that time, 2018 Bowman draft, it wasn't as big as, you know, card collecting is now. So there wasn't a ton of people buying Bowman draft back then. So, it drove me crazy that they would put these guys in Bowman draft, and you know the only way to get Bowman draft is go to the hobby shop. You can't get Bowman draft in the retail, where most people got their cards. Unfortunately, the last 10 years was, you know, in the checkout line at their grocery store or wherever. So yeah, man, this is a cool pick. I like it. I think that he obviously still has the tools, but man, the yips are tough. The yips, you see it in golf big time, you see it in baseball big time, and you see it in goalies and hockey big time, and it can end careers of some of the best, most talented athletes in the world. So
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, very interesting. So, all right, next.
So I kind of passed this one when I was looking up SI covers. But if you look at the lower left-hand part, that's Bronny James.
Yep.
It's not Bronny James as a basketball player, but as a team member of the FaZe gaming team. This was from, I forgot what month and year. Sorry, I had it in my. I must have forgotten to put it in there. But if I'm correct, and if you guys can in the comments if you think I'm incorrect, I believe this is his first SI cover. So, I mean, it's spec for basketball players, and it's also spec for gamers too. Which I've been getting really big into Gary V's podcasts, and this is where my 5 years kind of comes into play. Like e-gaming is blowing up. Like it could be like a top 6 sport according to him in the next 5 to 10 years or whatever. And if you got LeBron's son, and if he blows up in the NBA, and he somehow makes it in FaZe gaming or whatever, or in e-gaming, esports, it's like a double hit for $19-$29. Like, why not?
Here's my thing. I think there's such a hate boner for FaZe Clan right now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just a huge hate boner for him. They did that comic, and everybody cracked on that comic. The FaZe Clan, a lot of the people in the FaZe Clan did a bunch of fake rug pulls with NFTs. FaZe Banks, you know, is a big bullseye for NFT haters. So you could probably get these things for pretty damn cheap. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting play. And, of course, you know, the fact that they signed both Kyler and Bronny to contracts as gamers, that was a big deal when that happened. And they went public at that time, all made millions of dollars, all became rich overnight, made Keemstar rich overnight. So very interesting play right here. I like that.
Thanks.
All right. And finally.
So Gran Turismo. So I kind of went, I was asking Vinny about PlayStation greatest hits, and he says they don't go for as much. So this may not like go 25 times or whatever you guys are expecting or whatnot. But for a sealed second print of arguably the racing game that defined PlayStation, in my opinion. I mean, I didn't know what a Skyline was until I played this game, right? There's a movie coming out too, and I hear the movie's going to be really well written. I'm not sure exactly who's writing it, but people are hyped up for that. I figured for $49, which is the same price you probably paid for this game back in 1995 anyway.
Yeah.
Sealed for an extra 20 or whatever. Like it's not a bad play. And there's things coming out now, or that's going to come out in the next couple years or so that will bring more attention back to this video game.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of FaZe Clan and all that stuff, and the Killer Keemstar angle, if you guys are know who Killer Keemstar is and know the Drama Alert lore, you're gonna love the new segment on Modern Comic Mayhem Saturday night.
Okay.
We're gonna have a nice little callback to Killer Keemstar and his epic Halo lobby trolling, which is classic and was one of the greatest times periods in gaming's. Just the shit talking in that game was beyond epic, and unfortunately it's a dead dinosaur nowadays, but it's fun to go look at those things back in the day. So good stuff, Ferd. Nice, excellent 5 for 5. Let's get into some pretty cool comic spec with a killer character, one of the best characters created in a long time, coming from the Ultimates land, that being the Maker, aka Reed Richards from Earth 1610.
I don't know if you guys saw the news today, but there was a giant announcement that Jonathan Hickman, the Marvel world builder, the guy who brought the Fantastic Four back to limelight, the guy who just re-energized the X-Men, is bringing back the Marvel Ultimate Universe. And in one of the very first images that they put up, there's a certain character that everyone needs to notice, and it's the Maker. And I've been talking about if you read the King in Black series, you understood that the Maker was one of the major players in that. And the thing that was, they didn't finish it, but they left some red herrings there. The Maker in the Ultimate Universe, that symbiote, the Venom symbiote, was 100%, man-made. It had no Clintar. It had nothing to do with the hive mind, etc. The Maker was able to figure out how to combine the DNA of the symbiotes to his own symbiote that he created. And by doing that, he figured out that symbiote was able to travel the multiverse without issue. That's how the whole Venom and the Dylan Brock storyline, where he got to see his future version and everything, that's how that's happened. And then right before, in one of the middle issues, the King in the Black, the Maker basically just said all this. He one-shotted Venom. Venom didn't understand how it happened, and the Maker said, "I'm out." And we have not seen the Maker since that has happened until this little teaser we got today from Hickman and is it Fitch?
Who's
doing the
Bryan
art?
Hitch.
Excuse me. So his first appearance is Ultimate Fantastic Four #1. Villains do not genuinely do that well nowadays. I completely agree with what some people might be saying.
Yeah.
But you can pick these 9/8s up for $75 to $100. I think it's a good long-term investment. It also has the first appearance of all the different Fantastic Four. There's a few other Richards and a fucking Kang variant that there's a first appearance of, depending on how you want to stretch it. So,
yeah.
Nice.
I love that Maker spec, man. That's great spec. It's tough that it was in such a highly printed book. I mean, that Ultimate Verse stuff was just printed like crazy. They were thinking that was going to save them, which it did for a short period of time. You remember how popular, even on the secondary market, those Ultimate Spider-Man books were, that white variant that they came out with? You can pick up that book for like a quarter of the price, if not less, for maybe a tenth of the price of what it was going for back in the day. So, yeah.
First Ultimate Venom, they'd have the thing is you could kind of piece some of the storylines together and they would sell. Like the Ultimate Carnage line, the Ultimate Venom line, the Black Cat covers all sell. I mean, we all know Miles, but it was pretty good stuff. You could string them together, grab them and sell them, and it was okay. All the Spider-Man stuff. I know that this book was printed a lot. I don't know how well or sought after the #1 was for Fantastic Four, but I think Dre, I think you're right. We're finally to the era of the Fantastic Four spec. I'm not talking about for Doctor Doom or something. You know what I mean.
All right, let's get into the market report for February 22nd, 2023. A weird number, 2/22/23. Shout out to Joey Diaz and AJ Benza, the OG number guys. Go play that on some horses or something. Play the numbers. Let's get into it. Starting off with Ferd's spec, 3 for 3 spec. on the market report. We got some GI Joe, old school GI Joe stuff here.
So basically, my thought process here was sealed toys. So you got one of my favorite GI Joes from 1990. I love all those figures, just with the extra stuff that he put in there. Thought this was interesting. Like, I remember the RV just had like, that was my favorite. I want to say Walking Dead kind of like part of the series, because like they were in an RV, but they were still, they weren't safe. You know what I mean? They were still fighting off zombies. It was like the old school legit stuff. So I liked that. That
was a cool toy. I remember that was a big deal when it came out.
Yeah, I still remember that scene where they all like, at nighttime they all got, attacked or whatever, and then random Flash Gordon. I thought that was kind of cool to see.
Dale died in there, right?
Yeah, in the show.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So good stuff. All right, next.
So kind of going back, my whole theme is sealed stuff here. So I always think this is an interesting like set from versus like base set unlimited. But the 2000 Pokemon First Edition Team Rocket, it always goes for so much money. It baffles me. And then I think I stopped playing Magic when this set came out. So I wanted to hunker on that. But Tempest, I think it was like late 90s, 98, 99, I want to say. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. And then for all you kind of modern basketball heads there, like, I mean, that's the set 2003, 2004. Or that year was the year that basically, like LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo, Chris Bosh.
No, Bosh.
Was VC in that, or was he
I don't
earlier?
think Bosh
was
was in
seventh.
that set. He was 7th in that draft?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Carter?
No, Carter was
He's
way
before that,
Carter
right?
was like
90,
even older than that, right?
98. Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember a box of these went for like $400 back then, and
Yeah.
to be 10K.
Oh,
I mean, it
boy.
makes sense, right? So
Pac-Man
Anyway.
just opened up a box of these and gave them away, and Aaron Yee won the box topper, a Karl Malone box topper. So,
oh sweet.
yeah, good stuff. All right, next.
And I think this is my last one, but sealed games that just kind of went for good money
fucking
recently.
Lord.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 3, which some people say is the greatest Final Fantasy of all time. I don't know. Personally, I don't think so, but whatever it is. I don't. Do you guys know this game, SNES Evo? Like, it looks familiar, but I just don't know that game. Do you guys
Yeah,
know
I
this
don't
game?
know it either.
And then
Somebody
that.
does for 10 grand. 9 grand.
26 people do, right?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, classic, considered one of the greatest games of all time.
course.
I mean,
Yeah.
love it. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Very, very cool. All right. Next, we've got some prices on the M&M books coming back down to earth. You guys, listen. If you guys can wait, if the FOMO doesn't kill you, you can always save a ton of money.
I'm about to auction these on Sunday, dude. Let me be.
Amazing Spider-Man #1, the sketch variant, M&M sketch variant, $9.76 for a 9.8, and the color $3.70 for a 9.6. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Wade.
$5 a fart.
Yeah.
we're slanging fucking gas in this, dude.
Yeah, Jesus,
Used to be free.
Jesus.
Simon started it anyway.
He's asking, why did you pick that specific set for Rayquaza?
I would watch the Rumble podcast on Monday.
Yeah, there you
On
go.
OTR.
Yep,
OTR
go check out
Rumble.
OTR
Yeah.
Rumble, the OTR Rumble account. I need to get the link for that account, and I'll put it in the description below. All right. Next, somebody got a deal, I think, on 1991 Wizard, the San Diego Comic-Con, for $280, and it came with I don't know what other issue that is, but that's a tough find, that San Diego Comic-Con Wizard. Next, the comic book price guide Overstreet First Edition from 1970 sold for $1,280 on 43 bids. Tough find. And then look at this, you guys. How about Shazam #28, the quote-unquote first modern appearance of Black Adam, a 9.8 sold for $1,500. Again, if you can wait, if the FOMO doesn't get you, you can save a ton of money, and that is a ton of money. And I just want one of these vintage original Marvel Third Eye blacklight posters. How cool would that look in the background, like that Silver Surfer all black lighted up and everything? But $433, so tough. 1970s. They're just so beautiful. Every single one of those Third Eye blacklight posters are gorgeous. All right, I don't understand this. Somebody's going to have to key me in on this, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 16 from 1988, a 9/8 sold for $1,126. So, yeah, you're on mute, Sean.
Probably rare. That black cover's got to be tough. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it's not like you pick any of these Ninja Turtles out of the bin, but you know, by 16, you're thinking, yeah, whatever. That's a tough book. I mean, look at all that black. I did not. Well, I didn't see the market report before we're doing it, but I did not check the census on it. I could, but yeah, that thing is that's got to be a tough 9/8. And I would imagine that if it's that much, there's probably not more than like 30 or 40 of them. Could be whatever, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Batman 655 variant, 660 on a 9/8. That's nice. And check this out. This is the Spawn #1 Director's Cut Kickstarter comics from the Kickstarter action figures. It came with each one of the different action figures, and this sale was all 3 of those books signed in 9/8 with the Spawn special tags on them for $700, and I feel like that's a pretty damn good deal right there. So, cool stuff. Next, we have the Deadpool number 11 8-bit Hastings variant signed by both Stan Lee and Rob Liefeld, 9/8 for $14.55. If that guy would have taken a better picture, it probably would have got more.
Dude, or if, I don't know, see all that blue?
Yeah.
Stan, you got to scribble on Deadpool? Really? Jesus Christ, dude. I know he's like 100 years old when this happened, but still.
Yeah. The iconic.
And Rob, you got to write on the title. God, dude.
Yeah, right. Well, of course he
Fucking
does.
people, man.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 100, the Peach Momoko, the OG, one of the few Peach Momokos that shot her off into the stratosphere, sold for $6.99 raw.
Wow.
Yeah. Classic. And one of my all-time favorite covers, one of my new grails after the spot was filled by picking up my OG grail, Amazing Adventures number 4 is one of the most beautiful all-time covers, in my opinion. The robot Valentine cover with the little guy, gremlin, controlling the robot in the background, all the roses. Just beautiful. This was a 3.5 that sold for $512, so pretty damn affordable. Next, we have got, I already did that one. This is probably a killer buy on this one. You got Invincible number 1. You got the first appearance of Invincible, and both that regular cover and the variant. So the Noble Causes Family Secrets number 3 is the first appearance of Invincible. There's 2 covers for that. There's the one you see in the middle and the one up top. The one up top is a gorgeous homage to X-Men Days of Future Past, and is so tough to find. Both of those tough to find in high grade. And you got Invincible number 1. Pretty damn amazing pickup for $855. So,
fucking bargain.
Yeah.
Even very fine, that's a bargain.
Yes. How about a Venom Lethal Protector number 1 gold CGC 9/8 signature series signed by 6 people, including Stan Lee. And it looks gorgeous because all the autographs are in gold. So pretty damn good. Pretty cool looking signature series book right there. And it's a 9/8 on top of that. Tough to get that book in 9/8. Sold for just under $3,000. I always loved the Max number 1 glow in the dark edition. I think it looks great without, turning off the lights. I think the way that white looks, it looks so much better than the OG, the regular cover. And it's one of my all-time favorite books. I love gimmick books like glow in the dark books and acetate covers. I've always have, and this is one of the best. A 9/8 sold for the cheap sum of $312. So I'd be interested to know how much that usually goes for. So if you know, let me know. Next, a Amazing Spider-Man 678 9.6 sold for $2,600.
Ooh.
Not bad.
No.
I consider it at that price.
And then how about this? Transformers 1 through 3, the comic pack, the 3 comic pack, still sealed, sold for $659, you guys. There are so many of these out there. I'm sure there's people that have just short boxes of these things. Yeah. So if you got one, sell it, man. Look at that price.
You know what else is random? It's not a newsie.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like
A direct.
maybe returns from comic shops or something.
Yeah. Could be. Yeah.
So I'd imagine they might not be that high grade.
Yeah.
All right.
And then again, just wait for that FOMO to die out. You know, let that shit just pass in your brain. Go smoke a blunt or drink something. You know,
bro, that thing was $6,000 fucking dollars.
Mm-hmm. $1,300 now for a 9.8 second print.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I think that it might end up be dropping under 1,000. And if it does, we probably will all be smart to pick one of those up. So.
Okay, so I traded one of those for a Wolverine 310 color variant and black and white variant. The plat raw, and people thought I was crazy because I did that. And I was like, I can't get these 2 books. I got a 9.8 on the color, and I think 9.4 or 9.2 on the sketch. Sketch is impossible, by the way. I think I sold the sketch for maybe $700 or $800, but that was like 5 years ago. And I think I just took $2,000 for the color. So I have finally been vindicated because the market took a shit, and I never had a $6,000 Kamala sale.
Yeah.
So whatever. But yeah, good deal.
Next, speaking of Transformers, how about a number 1 9.8 for $1,500 plus? So crazy.
Cool.
Yep.
Makes me feel good.
Eerie number 1, very fine near mint, high grade raw copy of it, sold for $805. That's a tough
Impossible.
book. Yep.
Yeah.
And then shout out to all the DC Universe collectors out there. And Adventures of Superman $4.99. The 3rd print DCU variant sold for $413. Shout out to Daryl Miller out there, who's still.
He'll probably sell his 10 copies now at that price.
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I want to get Daryl on the channel at some point. I've been talking about this for a while. I want to get Daryl, Steve Horn, Stein, Topher, and Trey together and try and get a show talking about that amazing time period of, you know, when the DCU variants were kind of being talked about and kind of blew everybody away. So, and that list, the ultimate list of that. So, good stuff.
I think Daryl's got the belt right now. I
Yes.
think Steve used to have, but I don't think anybody's got Daryl beat.
Yeah, that picture, he put up a picture of what his he's got like 3 or 4 of the Supergirl second prints.
Yeah.
A Swamp Thing 37 9.8 for $1,650. So that's pretty dope. And then another one of my grails is a 4-color 386. I love that cover. Uncle Scrooge key issue. $357 for a raw copy. And then check this out. A Marvel Super Special number 22 Blade Runner comic, a 9.8 sold for $975. Pretty dope.
Super dope.
And then not too much other on toys this week. Just a couple of them that I'll show you. We have this 2004 Toy Biz Rare Spider-Man scooter with pizza launching action, sold for $950, you guys. That's absolutely crazy. Just under $1,000 for that. Like, holy cow, man. That's pretty damn awesome right there. So be on the lookout for those.
Before.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen it before.
You can find those out there, so be on the lookout for them. Even loose, they sell for a ton of money, which is even, you know, smarter if you're able to go and look at, like, there's stores that we have in every town where it's like a Half Price Books or a Bookman's or a Zia Records where they have like loose figures pre-bagged and like hanging on stuff, and all kinds of different collectibles, whether it's vinyl, music collectibles, comics, and you can find loose versions of that in stores out there. So be on the lookout for that. Any of those loose Spider-Man figures like that. The Todd McFarlane superposable one sells for multiple hundreds loose without anything. So it's worth keeping a lookout for sure. Good stuff. All right, next, that vintage Shredder Grail, the Chef Boyardee Shredder, and talk about taking a smart eBay picture, put the Shredder figure on top of a Chef Boyardee can. Just perfect, brother. That's how you do it. $600 for that figure, and that is the top probably 5 grails for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. Couple of Masters of the Universe figures right here that blew me away. I have never seen this figure. This is Masters of the Universe Origins Duplico figure. Have you ever seen that figure, Sean?
No clue, dude.
Yeah,
None.
Never seen that. Duplico sold for $435.
Hold on, is it new?
I don't know.
It says
if it's
retro.
new.
It says retro play, and like the way they have like the snake or whatever lizard, whatever the hell it is,
Yeah.
up there.
Uh-huh.
It looks
I don't know.
newish, but
Can you get that shit in Walmart? It looks like it's not punched either.
yeah, that's the crazy part. So it could be. Maybe that figure is some type of chase. If anybody in the live chat knows, let us know. If anybody in the comments, let us know. So very interesting. Very interesting. Shout out to Lions Mill Studio. It says, Hail Comicsgate. What's happening, y'all? Oh, man, you missed it. We already went over the Cancel America Comics #1.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully you can check
New
that out.
Comicsgate.
Yeah, it's worth it. All right, one other He-Man figure. Check this out. New Adventures of He-Man. The cheesy He-Mans from the, early 90s. I think they tried to bring that back. This figure is the Missile Armor Flipshot Icarus figure, $1,875 sealed. So, crazy. How you know it's 90s? Look at that hot pink weapon and belt. That's how you know it's 90s.
Yeah.
A vintage Batman Returns Batmobile with Bat Missile in the box. What a beautiful Batmobile that is. Sold for $292. And shout out to all my Muscle Men fans, Kanikimon fans. We've got 14 sets. And I don't know if they were opened or not opened, but it looks like there's some loose
That's
figures
awesome.
on the sides for $253. And that is a crazy deal. That is unbelievable deal right there. So congrats to whoever that is. That's
cool as shit. I would have outbid this person. I
Right?
don't know if I would have won, but it would have cost them more money.
All right. Yeah, dude. That
Yeah.
that shit is crazy. All right, we got a couple more real quick here. We have got this. I've never seen this. I don't know what this is, and I thought it was interesting. Rare Spider-Man, 1990 Spider-Man from McFarlane cover, #1, the facsimile. It's a rainbow variant cover. Have you guys ever seen this?
Mm-mm.
Uh-oh. It's not that guy, is it?
Oh, God, I hope not. It is. It is,
made
you
it up.
guys.
Oh, Jesus.
I knew it, dude.
He's
Somebody
back.
has to- dude, this guy needs to get hit in the head with the fucking baseball bat, dude.
He's back, you guys. Imagination
He
Inc.
found these all in a warehouse. There's a magic warehouse that had every possible cover, and they only printed a few of each, and the DC and Marvel all got together, and they ended up in the same warehouse, and he's the only guy that's ever had them.
You guys, something's
Fuck
got
this
to be done with this
Sack of
guy.
shit, motherfucker.
How
Come get
is
me,
he?
dude. You know your bootleg. Come get me, dude.
How is he
Talk about
still
slander,
selling on
libel, all
eBay?
this shit, man. Fuck you.
I know at least 5 times he's been called out for selling bunk stuff. How is he still doing it, you guys? Look at all these bunk comics he's selling. They all have bids on them. That one that we just showed sold for. Look at this. He's got, black and white artist proofs. Like, come on, dude. You're just printing these out. This
Bro,
he made
what is
himself.
that? It's like, what is this? Do you have any lawyers in here? Like seriously, this is not only art theft, it's fabrication, it's like
All fake books, you guys.
I can think of the charges. I don't know what it would be, man. He's looking at like $1 million in fines so far or some shit.
all
like that.
fake books these are. All fake books.
Every
Yep.
single book he has is fake.
Yep. And for those of you guys that don't know, you can find him on IG. He goes under the Imagination Inc. Imagine, like IMAGINE. So Imagine and then Nation and then Inc. That'll throw you off. You got to spell it correctly. You can find him on IG. He's one of those guys that sits outside and people pay him to take little caricatures of themselves, when they're like tourists and shit. And he's not good.
Guys.
He's not good. So maybe that's why he makes fake books. But yep, there we go. Back at it. Fake books. That's really sad.
As soon as I saw that picture, I was like, dude, I bet it's that motherfucker.
Yeah. Check this one out, you guys. Couple months ago, maybe a month ago or less, it might have been about a month ago, in the market report I did, there was like 5 sales of this Clone Wars #1 variant in a row. You guys remember that? Well,
Yeah,
it happened
I remember.
again. This seller, Doc 1909, sold some more of his collection, it looks like. He sold a 9.0 for $12.75, a 9.6 for $28.75, a 9.2 for $13.66, a 9.4 for $17.24. So he sold 4 off in his collection, and then here we go again. Back in January, he sold a 9.6 for $2,600, a 9.2 for $15.25, and a 9.4 for $1,800. So I don't know if they're the same
why.
books. They might be the same books. Maybe this guy is another one of the examples of what we were just going through. You be the detective on that one. I'm not going to get
He's
into
got
that.
7. He sold 8,000 things before.
Yeah. This right here would scare the shit out of kids back in the 80s. This is a life-size E.T. figure, you guys, from the 80s.
He's so beautiful.
Oh,
I was the kid that they picked at Universal Studios that got to ride the bike and be on the screen.
oh my God, bro.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I was jumping up and down, and my aunts and my mom were pointing at me. I was like fucking 9, and they're like, "Come on up here," and I got up and I was riding the bike, and it shows me on the screen. But
Do you
back then,
remember-
you didn't have like cameras and phones and shit, so it's like
Yeah,
Do
you
you
had to tell
remember?
stories and remember things. Remember that?
I do.
I remember the first time I ever
Why we're doing this
remember.
show, right? Yeah.
First time I ever remember standing in line for anything was at the premiere for E.T. I remember standing in line, and the line was so long, it was like wrapped around the outside of the movie theater. And they gave all the kids these little talking E.T. dolls that you could pull a string, and it was plastic, and it would say the E.T. stuff. I want to know if any of you guys have any of those left, because I still have mine.
Oh,
And
awesome.
it scared the shit out of me as a kid, man. So that's
There was an extending neck ET, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
With the on the back.
Yep.
You slide it up. Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah.
Slide it up the back. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next, finally, you guys know I talk about it all the time. Look for these collections or these holders with figures in it. This sold for $255, you guys. All right. The display case the holder alone is worth that. Look what is inside, though. This is unbelievable. Inside, you've got all the OG figures with all their helmets, including Snake Eyes. All in there, you guys. All the weapons. Look at that. Whoever bought this just scored 3 times over. They're all the OG Joes are in here. None of the Cobra figures, but all the OG Joes, including probably the 2 most important, Snake Eyes and Scarlet. I think there's 2 rock and rolls. Grand Slam. You got them all. They're all in here with the weapons. So huge score for whoever got this. They look like they're in great condition. No broken thumbs, no broken crotches. $255 this person got this for. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why you watch the market report on Beyond Wednesdays. That being said, you guys got anything cool coming up this week?
Sunday, me and Pickles, I don't know if he's in the chat anymore, he's probably at work. We're going to do a Swordmaster kind of review. I know a lot of people have been that's like our favorite book right now. It's not, Iron Fist, whatever you want to call it. And with kind of the rumors that Shang-Chi 2 is going to be Shang-Chi 2, Shang-Chi, whatever you want to say. supposedly he's gonna be traveling like through time, and he's gonna bring some new characters with him that are Asian. What do you want to call it? And it's interesting. I think Swordmaster may pop up. We're hoping, and we're gonna talk about it on Sunday.
Very,
Oh,
very cool.
well, that is okay. Well, don't leave out the Wanted Comics variant for
Don't
the
worry, I
Shang-Chi
haven't.
one, which has that he had Perillo did it for him, and he was one of the only stores that did it. So I sold 20 sets, the only sets I had to my okay, that's not true. I sold 19 of my 20 sets because I graded a set. To my customers on Whatnot.
Yeah, I bought one.
You bought one, right? Okay, there we go.
I bought a couple, yeah.
Yeah, probably a couple. Yeah, you. So for a very fair price. So yeah, don't leave that book out, man, because you know.
No, I'm putting it in there.
There
That's a
you
big
go,
book.
dude. He
That's a big
did it.
book.
Did the cover? Had it, dude. He had a little bit of foresight, you know. So anyway, yeah, let's not.
Speaking of
forget,
Wanted
shout out to
Comics.
Wanted Comics, our buddy Drew. Yeah.
Wanted Comics and Drew has a new Local Man cover out right now. Make sure you guys go to wantedcomicswithanx.com. Check out his Instagram, also at Wanted Comics, and this awesome video of Tony
Fleece.
signing them.
Oh,
Shout
cool.
out to Tony Fleece, our boy, one of the best creators in the game. Absolutely love Tony. And there's Big Clutch, the man, the myth, the legend. He was unable to come on last week on Modern Comic Mayhem. We had our wires crossed, but he will be on as soon as he gets back from out of town and on Saturday night. So good stuff. Shout out to Tony.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And Drew does sell a lot. I don't. People have different feelings about Whatnot, but Drew's is one of the old school sellers that has books that you can't get anywhere else, and like old school variants and like all the shit. He has, let's just say his warehouse is like insane. And like, so if whether I would look for Wanted Comic shows on Whatnot, because he just constantly sells, and nobody has the books he has. I mean, no one. I'm not kidding. Nobody has the backup stacks of variants and books that get hot, and has a warehouse to be able to come pull them up besides him. So I know, some people, Whatnot, it's all trash, mystery box, blah blah blah. No. Drew's a real seller. We know there are some real sellers on there. I don't sell as much, but I'm one. But yeah, please.
So shout out to
Wanted Comics on Whatnot.
To Nearing Nerdvana, one of our favorite channels on YouTube. You guys, we're gonna send you on over to them for our every show we do this, you guys. It's called the Raid feature on YouTube. It's very cool that they do this. And we're going to send you over there. I want to say thank you for everybody that hangs out with us every week on this channel. We got a lot of very interesting stuff coming down the pipe. We got great shows coming. We got 2 new shows that are coming, including an industry insider show that's going to be absolutely amazing. So make sure you guys check that out. Also, we are going to hopefully be getting our foreign show happening soon, as soon as possible. And that'll be a lot of fun. Let me find Nearing Nerdvana. Nearing Nerdvana. Nearing Nerd. Hold on, let me spell it right. But the girls at Nearing Nerdvana have just been absolutely amazing. And redirect privileges needed. Ask Nearing Nirvana to add you to their live direct list in the community settings. Oh, you guys. Nearing Nirvana, I can't add you to the raid list if you guys don't change it up and put me in the settings. So as you guys can see here, Nearing Nirvana set up the redirect privileges. So make sure you guys go check out Nearing Nirvana right now. Live with looks like Mondo Mail Call is the name of the show, and appreciate everybody hanging out. We will see you guys next time.
Thanks,
Adios.
guys. Thanks, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.